Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Garage Time TV. I apologize for my voice, it is kind of in and out, so we're just gonna work with it. But this is my new car. That's right, I traded my 1972 Fiat 850 for this, and this is a 1962 Ford Thunderbird. It's got a 390 with a 3-speed automatic transmission. It was a complete even trade, car for car, title for title, no extra cash, anything like that on top. Let's do a walk around, but there is some work that we need to do to it. And some of it I've already actually kind of done off camera, and a little bit more needs to be done. So I figured let's do some more content while we have the time. Let's do a walk around. I'll show you the guys' car, some of the stuff that I've already done, and what our plan is for today. All right, initial walk around. This is her, again, a 62. I'll go through some of the interior here in a second. The tires are dated for 2024, so not too terribly old, but it seems like everything is working on the car, at least on the outside, and that's kind of what matters for now. We'll go through that here in a second. Now, there are some things that I've already done to this car. When I got it, the paint was dingy, kind of like this here. It's all my nasty, dirty handprints, so you can kind of see there, so ignore that. But it was kind of like that through the entire car. I did a detail on this car, probably about a 2-hour detail to get all of the crud and stuff out of the paint. It was horrible. Lots of tiger stripes to get the iron out of the paint. And it does have chips and dings and stuff in it here, like there, down in the rockers. There's some more in the doors, the door edges. You know, here around the end where stuff's been running. Little crack here. On the trunk, you know, little stuff here and there, little hail dings. Hopefully the light might show you some of those in the trunk lid. But the taillights are intact, and that's what's important. Chrome is all there. Now, originally, when I got this car, the first thing that I had to do was that it had the middle here on the wheels was the same teal as the roof, and I couldn't do it. This was teal. I'll post a picture here in a second, but this was teal in the middle, and it was orange on the drums. It's got 4 sets of drums, and they were orange. It reminded me of like Fred Flintstone.
Why?
Can't do it. And so I took some stripper, I got all of that off, back to silver wheels. When I took these off, painted the drums black, already made it 1,000 times better. Added some fresh black paint in the wheel wells as well, because some of the overspray from a respray had bled in there. Got it nice and black in there as well. It's got its issues, you know, stuff like this going on here. But on the inside, it's all here, but definitely needs work. This thing is absolutely beautiful, you know, 60s design, you can't beat it. But the carpet is definitely not original. It looks like it's kind of carpet you get from Home Depot or something. These are seat covers. I have not really looked underneath these seats, and I think it kind of pokes out. But everything is here. There's some cracks in the dash, you know, but the glass is all in great shape. It's got a headliner in it. It's got the visors in it too. The back seat looks like it's probably never been sat in. The dome light works. You can see that there. It's got the trim around the windows. The seals seem to be pretty good. All of the windows do work. I've cranked these windows down, and they do all come down. We'll go to this other side here. I like that it's a 2-door, and I actually can fit in this thing, which is nice compared to the Fiats. Again, all the chrome is here. I need to touch up the grille a little bit more. Some of the black has really faded. Down this side as well. Some more here on the corner. And you can see up on the dash, you know, cracks here and there. Just kind of some putty stuff, filling stuff in. But, you know, what do you expect for a car that's 60-something years old? This side, a little bit more wear on the door cards down on the bottom. Same carpet. The seat, you can kind of see, kind of falling apart there. When you get in, it's got all the gauges. Now, when I first got the car, the gauges didn't work. It had the speedo. Clock doesn't work. Speedo was working, but we didn't get anything on our fuel or temperature gauge, and these warning lights didn't work. Behind the clock here is actually a resistor that drops it from 12 volts to 6. Notorious for failing, so I replaced that one part. When I had these gauges out, I cleaned up the glass as well, because this was all foggy. Replaced that, and all the gauges came back, which was great. Headlights work, taillights work, the blinkers work. I don't know about reverse lights yet. The radio does not, but I'm not super worried about that. I have a Bluetooth speaker, throw it here in the floorboard, and some call it good. I did get the blower motor to work, so this does work. It was disconnected at the firewall in the engine bay. I have the heater cord disconnected. I'll show you all that. Floor vent knobs are here. Got some of the spare parts that I've got in here. Ashtray, all that good stuff is here. And down here is where all of our information is, and some screws and bulbs and all sorts of good stuff. So some extra stuff in there. But overall, a really super solid car. I went through the build plate here, kind of the data plate, if you will. Originally, this car was the blue, but had blue on the inside, according to that plate at least. So I don't know how the whole thing got red, but I'm not super mad at it. So let's pop the hood, which is right here, and let's go take a look at it. All right, so under the hood here, oh, I can lift that up. We have a Ford 390 V8. Does run and drive. This thing fires up great. It did have an overheating issue. Once the gauges started working, it was getting way past the middle, which made me nervous. It's also not charging, which is going to be what we're working on today. And I've done a lot of changes, and some of those changes are going to be mostly up here in the cooling system. So it's got a new aluminum radiator. I ordered that. That's new. It's got a new thermostat because it had a 195 in it. Way too hot for this engine. Already a hot engine. New water pump down there. That's all done. I've got new smaller belts for the alternator. The ones that were on there were just too long, maxing out the swing of adjustment. This is the AVS2 carburetor, the Edelbrock carburetor on here. This is what it came with. This is where the blower motor was disconnected, that ground cable right there. So I just reconnected that. And the heater core is bypassed. I just don't have that plugged in. Now this would have come off a fitting down there, a 1/2 inch where that little square plug is. Would have had a barb fitting, which would have come up through here and out the back side, and then through the heater core, and then back down to another fitting up here somewhere. It was just kind of a mess, and it was all red. I think I've got it down here. It was this stuff here. So it has this Y pipe on it, red hoses. It had a red fuel line that was, you know, rock solid, so we got rid of that. Because you don't need a red fuel line because that's not adding any horsepower. So we put a black, brand new fuel line. Looks like it has a new fuel pump as well. I did an oil change on it, replaced a little rubber piece here for the water pump. Other than that, that's really all I've done. I've been chasing down a charging issue because this thing will not charge. He says it has a parasitic draw, which is why there's a kill switch here on the battery. And I need to get a hold down because there's nothing holding this battery in place, just kind of sitting here. So we have our work cut out for us. I've got some tools on the table over there, some work lights and stuff, but I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to charge. This does have the fittings for an externally regulated alternator, not a one wire like you would see on a GM. So I'm gonna see if we can get this regulator, hook it back up, get the connections done right, and see if we can get this thing to charge, because currently it's only about 12.5 volts. Not gonna be nearly enough. So let's take a look at it. I'll put some connections on and see what we get.
1 hour later.
All right, so we did some testing. We ended up pulling our alternator off. This has the, I think this is probably what we consider a one wire alternator already, but it's got the field and warning light input here, the battery input. I manually jumped 12 volts from here to the field to get it to try and work. 12.5 volts, that's all it'll do. Won't do any more. And we all know that these are not always necessarily good out of the box. So I ordered another one, about 75 bucks. It'll be here hopefully shortly, and then I'll just wig it up to be a true one wire and just do a hot lead over, get it going, and we should be good to go. But we are just going to bypass all of the regulator stuff in here. I may just leave it, but this engages our warning light on the dash, so I don't really want to mess with that. So I might just leave it unplugged or put a plastic washer on there. I'll cap all this, I'll tuck this out of the way, and then we'll be able to kind of clean up some of the mess here. So we're just gonna wait on that part, and then we'll be able to slap it back in and see if that really solves our problem.
Many hours later.
All right, so I ended up having to go pick up the alternator. They weren't able to get it delivered in time, so I didn't want to keep waiting. So the good news is we got this nice new alternator, Delco Remy. This is an SI series. It's like the GM one wire, if you will, if it'll stay still. A little different, but the good thing is our mounting points on the top here and the bottom here look almost identical. It's just location of different parts are other places. So if this is truly a one wire, we should really just hook up our 12 volt here, give it some revs to excite it. We'll ground it here, put some tension on the belt and see what happens. So it should, in theory, be a perfect plug here to where it's supposed to go. So our spacers and all of our hardware should mostly work. So we'll clean up our mess a little bit here. We put in an upgraded battery as well. So we'll see how it turns out. But let's install that, put on the ground wire, put on the 12 volt battery cable, rev it up, see if we're charging. All right, so we've got some gnarly belt squeaks, so ignore that. But it looks like we're starting to climb. Let's give it some RPMs here. See if we can give it a second. Ah, that squeak is annoying. I'm gonna have to tighten that even more. Charge, dang it. Brand new alternator. Oh, you know what I do have going is this fan has a draw on it. Let me pull this off for now. There we go. Oh, that's better. 12 and a half. Oh, now we're starting to climb. Kind of. Oh, that squeak. Need more than that. Oh, maybe. Kind of. Come on, you can do it. Ah, I have to fix that squeak. I can't handle it.
A few moments later.
All right, I had to replace the pulley. Had to pull all this back off. As you can hear, it's not squeaking because this was the pulley that was on there, and you can actually see the paint getting eaten off there. That silver line, just it's skipping on there. Hopefully that'll show up for you guys. You can see it. That silver grayish line. It was just skipping on there, driving me nuts. So we've got the pulley that came on the new alternator back on there, so we're gonna go to just one belt, no problem. And that was textured, so it's able to actually bite onto the pulley, and now we have no squeak. And so now, there we go. 14.3, 14.4, perfect. I think what was going on is we were getting some belt slip, and it was just not one to cooperate. So feels good. We are now charging. Awesome, so much better. Oh, all right, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. We replaced that alternator with a GM one-wire style. We jumped from the battery signal over to the field. Once we get it excited, it starts charging. Some are 3-wire signals, so you need a trigger wire. Just depends on what alternator you get. But this one is a 63 amp alternator, which I think is going to be more than enough. I think a simple upgrade in the future would be new headlights, maybe. These I think are a little dim. I also have no idea how old they are. They look like some are Sylvania, some are not labeled at all. So one has been replaced in its past, but I think upgrading to LEDs is going to be the way to go with our friends over at vintagecarleds.com. There's going to be a link in the description. I'll put a link in the description for the alternator I used in here as well. So just an O'Reilly's off the shelf thing. Hallelujah, it charges. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think we are now at the point where we can take this out on the road and actually enjoy it. So maybe after we put some exhaust on it, we will do some driving videos and kind of get this thing around town and see how it handles, how it does. Supposedly suspension and stuff has been done on this, shocks, all that kind of good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing really, really helps the channel, so please make sure you continue to do that. We also have the merchandise website up and going. I have new designs out that you guys are definitely going to want to check out as far as like new projects, past projects, all sorts of good stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you.